Hey everybody, welcome to Matt Men, your source for all things professional wrestling. I'm Andrew Zarin. Of course, I'm joined by the new leaders of Genosha, Rich Stambolian.
Ooh, I fear no man.
How do you feel?
I feel no pain.
They gave it to you.
They gave it to me. I love it.
What are you going to do? You're a dictator now with Genosha.
I'm a dictator now. Listen, that last episode, we're going to do a little X-Men talk real quick, get it out of the way up top.
I got to talk about it.
Unbelievable.
It was so good.
So good. Can't believe we got to wait another year.
Can't believe that.
Get that apocalypse. Spoiler alert. Get that little apocalypse.
You know what we should do? Why don't
stinger at the end?
Do you think we could do just the whole series? From the original. Okay? We start off from the original.
Uh-huh.
And we kind of make our way to the new stuff.
Like as a watch along?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not like as a watch. It's like a show. We talk about each episode.
Yeah, let's do it. Let's do it. And let's bring in other X-Men fans.
Other X-Men's.
Let's bring in other X-Men's.
Yeah.
Alex. Bring him. The other Alex. Queen of the Ring Alex.
Queen of the Ring Alex. Kyle just finished it yesterday. Yeah. Dude, I was on the phone with Kyle the whole time.
Uh-huh.
He was going nuts about the whole thing. He loved it.
Yeah. He was texting me yesterday about it. Really amazing ending. They really stuck the landing. And you got like some really cool stuff. I thought the morph stuff was cool, where that's the only way he could tell Wolverine.
He could tell Wolverine he loves him. Yeah, that was great. Great stuff.
He's like, Bob, what are you talking about?
Bob. What?
Bob.
It's 1996. What are you talking about?
Whoa. So is the next series going to be X-Men 98?
Well, it's 6 months after, and it was June. Mm-hmm. So yeah, it would literally be 1998.
It would be cool if they did that for the series,
the Spiderman one, when it comes back.
X-Men 98, 99, and then X-Men 2000 should be the end of it.
X-Men 2000 would end up being what?
They got to deal with Y2K.
That's the big problem.
That's the big problem. They got to deal with Y2K.
Who was that weird mutant that was like an electric guy? You know what I'm talking about?
Electric guy.
You know what I'm talking about?
I don't. You know, there's quite a few electric men in the Marvel universe.
He literally was like a golden thunderbolt.
Who was a mutant?
Yeah.
Was he a good mutant or a bad mutant?
I don't know.
Did you make this up?
I may have hallucinated this whole thing in a. This show's all about professional wrestling. Sometimes wrestling adjacent, boys and girls. Here we do plenty of shows. Beyond the Bell on Tuesdays at 10:30 on Fightful. Matt Men on Matt Men for now.
Matt Men on Matt Men
for now.
Yeah.
For now.
Well,
that's a little teaser.
Little teaser.
We do a show with Garrett Gonzalez on Tuesdays also on Wrestling Observer. And, of course, Wrestling Observer Live on Sundays with me at 6 p.m. Eastern. A lot of wrestling to talk about here.
You know, I feel like it's easier for me to come on Wrestling Observer than to come on the show with you and Garrett.
I'm a very different human being on that show because it is at 4 o'clock in the afternoon.
Yeah, so you're like winding down.
I'm very much winding
It's
down.
An hour before bedtime.
Literally. You have no idea.
5 p.m. bedtime.
No idea. That tub is getting filled while the show's going on.
Whoa. All right.
Where do you want to begin? Let's go with news.
So NXT will remain on Tuesdays after the move to the CW. It looks like it's going to stay in that sweet spot of 8 to 10. Listen, it's a good time slot.
You know, I'm curious what this does to the numbers, right? Because the importance of linear doesn't exist as much.
Right, exactly.
You know, like obviously you're going to have more viewers on over-the-air program, but I think that's because the channels are so low.
Yeah.
Like if you're one of the few people that channel surfs, it's a low channel, so you'll find it.
Right.
Channel 11 is a lot easier to find than channel 260.
Also, Channel 11, I feel like, maybe I'm old school here, but I feel like Channel 11 was always one of those tried and true channels where it's like, let's see what's on Channel 11.
WPIX, Channel 11.
Yeah.
You put on Channel 11, that could be a movie, it could be a Friends, it could be Seinfeld, it could be Ray Romano.
Could have been a Honeymooners back in the day.
My wife! Twilight Zone Marathon, Honeymooners.
Real quick, Spanish Ray Romano.
Mi mama.
Yeah, Honeymooners. It's a good move. Listen, I've been watching a lot more NXT lately, so
it's not bad at all. It's good. It's fine.
Yeah.
It just I can't connect with the characters.
No.
I don't know why. Is it because it's the developmental still, or am I aging out?
I don't think you're aging out. I do think there's something to be said about not being able to identify with the characters on NXT. It's not an age thing. I think it's that sometimes WWE gets into that weird pocket of we don't know how to manipulate pop culture to what we're doing. And I think that's what NXT is.
You know what? That's actually a good way of putting it. And listen, there are people that love NXT. I think they're fantastic. It's good. I just can't. maybe it's that I have a dip. I binge NXT.
Mm-hmm.
So like nobody's home. I'm by myself. I pull up that website.
Yeah.
And I sit there and I watch NXT for 8 hours. What do you think I was watching?
Suits?
Suits, yeah, that's what I watch.
You love Suits. Well, okay, so I'll give you a good example of that. It's not ageism. So take Jey Uso's Yeet.
Okay, yeah.
Organic, right?
But now they're forcing it.
it.
Yeah.
So I feel like with it, not necessarily true, but they probably looked at what they were like, we need something like a Yeet for NXT and throw a bunch of shit at the wall.
Yeah, they try to market everything. That's, a lot of stuff misses, but when it hits, like the Yeet. Asuka's taking a break from WWE, treat a knee injury. Ivar is out of action indefinitely following the attack by Gallus on NXT TV, so he was hurt to begin with. Also, WWE and Saudi Arabia discussing hosting WrestleMania or Royal Rumble in 2026-27, as per Ariel Helwani.
I don't think people are gonna go for that.
Okay, I gotta say,
You'll be there.
Me in Saudi Arabia?
You're gonna hop on the plane?
I'm gonna hop on the plane, yeah. I'm going right there. I'm not denying Helwani's report.
Right.
But I have great difficulty thinking that WrestleMania will go to Saudi Arabia.
Can I add something here real quick?
Yeah,
sure,
go ahead.
Some key information. This was coming from the sports department or the sports whatever his title is from Saudi Arabia to Helwani. So they're
I'm sure. Listen, they're not going to not listen. Someone wants to offer you a buttload of money.
Right.
I think Vegas is giving WWE like $5 million, $6 million, whatever it is.
It's on the table. When money's on the table at WWE. But again, is this a different WWE? Because I feel like if Vince, maybe this is just me being stupid, I feel like if Vince was still in charge, it would be a more certain inevitability that these two shows would be in Saudi Arabia.
Oh, I would think never.
Really?
Yeah. I have quite the opposite.
Okay.
I think those two shows would never leave the country.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah.
I feel like he would have done it for that insane amount of money to make that historical like announcement for the next year of like, this is how we do it in WWE. Maybe your city's the next big city, and then travel WrestleMania for a couple of years.
I don't know, because
where would you internationally? Where would you like to see WrestleMania?
Where would I like to see a WrestleMania? Internationally.
Yes, that's
somewhere where I would go, or just to like see.
Let's say both.
Tokyo Dome. Tokyo Dome. I want to see WrestleMania at the Tokyo Dome.
WrestleMania at Tokyo Dome would be amazing.
I don't want to go anywhere else.
London.
Fine, London.
London would be awesome.
You could do London.
Canada. Does Canada count? So close.
North America. It doesn't count. Yeah.
Mexico City.
Listen, Mexico City has some unbelievable. Isn't one of the largest
Yeah.
soccer stadiums in the world? It's
That'd be
like 100 and
I
like
believe so. Yeah.
it's like 500,000 people fit in that building.
WrestleMania in France. Judging by backlash.
You know what? That would be cool too.
Mm-hmm.
That would be cool too. I just don't see that happening. Listen, they obviously enough money. They want to throw $50 million or $60 million just for one WrestleMania. And they guarantee all these things, and great, they could definitely do that. I just don't see that happening.
Fair, yeah. I think the fans would be pretty upset about that too.
Yeah. AEW is partnering, and that's the other thing, right? Because those two shows are world traveled shows.
Absolutely.
I think your tourism is going to be a little apprehensive about going to Saudi Arabia.
Exactly. Because especially like, not to stereotype people, but I feel like the fans from like Europe come here for WrestleMania to effing party.
Oh, they do, yeah.
To party,
dude. They have a fucking blast.
Saudi's a dry country.
Yes, it is.
So I feel like that's out of the question.
But for certain people, it's a dry country.
For certain people, it's a dry country. But isn't it dry like for tourism too? Like you wouldn't be able to go get a beer.
I can in Dubai.
You sure?
Yeah, let's.
I feel like that's wrong also.
No, I can in Dubai.
Yeah?
Yeah.
You specifically, just you.
Just me. Because I kind of look like them, Alcohol sales and consumption is totally banned.
Right, in both countries.
You get lashed.
Yeah. In Dubai and Saudi Arabia, right?
This is Saudi Arabia.
Yeah.
Let's see Dubai.
So I feel like that's a big impact in tourism.
Can I drink in Dubai? Yes, you could drink alcohol in Dubai. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So, because Dubai is more all tourism,
Yeah.
Very interesting. North Korea is overdue for a big one too.
Another WrestleMania in North Korea?
They need a WrestleMania
Is that
in
the
North
next
Korea.
step?
Yeah, I think we need to go to all the terrible places, the scary places,
Yeah.
right? AEW is partnering with the city of Arlington. Talk about partnering. 6-show summer series.
Cool.
The city will see 5 episodes of Collision and ROH Death Before Dishonor pay-per-view to take place in Arlington Esports Arena. The venue holds 2,500 people.
Great.
Nice small building.
Mm-hmm. That's
This
almost
is-
like a residency.
They're doing a residency. I'm curious why. I'm curious if they got paid to do this.
Interesting. That's a good question. That's a
Or
good
is it
question.
an experiment?
It may be an experiment. I don't know what kind of experiment this is because I don't think residencies like this work for the long run.
Mm-hmm.
It's also, isn't it the NFL owners meeting that week or that 2-week period?
You're asking the wrong guy. I don't follow football.
I'm asking this guy.
Oh, the
He's
other guy?
asking me.
Yeah, because he would know.
I also didn't like the way he said experiment.
Experiment.
Give me like chills.
Ugh.
And he did this on camera.
It's an experiment. Saturday, July 20th, AEW Collision. Friday the 26th, Death Before Dishonor. Saturday, July 27th, AEW Collision. Thursday, August 1st, Collision is taped for the 3rd, and Saturday the 10th for Collision, and then the 17th for Collision. All right,
Cool.
I'm curious about this. I have a bunch of questions. One, is the city of Arlington going to fill these venues for them? Is this a paid show? And is this an experiment to continue doing more of these?
Why not, right? This is a litmus test for something, I'm sure, especially in a smaller size venue.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be cool. Listen, if the tickets were priced perfectly, wouldn't you go, and you live near there, wouldn't you go to at least a few of these?
Yeah, of course. If I'm really into it, and
Yeah,
I'm in the Arlington area. Yeah, why not?
Like Friday, Saturday night, go to the wrestling show, have a couple of beers with your
That's
buds.
great.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Every week we go to a wrestling show.
Yeah.
You want to go to a wrestling show?
Let's go to the wrestling show. Let's move to Arlington.
Selfishly, I'd love for them to do that here.
Where, though? At the Garden?
No.
Everywhere.
Laboom.
Laboom's great, though.
Yeah, that's where I want. I want AEW to run a show in. a Spanish nightclub on Northern Boulevard.
I think your
in
house is
Woodside.
bigger than Laboom.
My house is bigger than Laboom. Yeah.
The aggravated assault case against AEW's Cash Wheeler has been dropped. The state of Florida declined to pursue. On a side note, I don't know if you guys saw the post
I saw it. Yeah.
Dynamite video with Danielson losing his mind because he's laughing his ass off. The crowd chanting, "He's not guilty." I think that was it, right? The crowd was chanting, "He's not guilty."
Yeah.
Dax announced it. Cash said he's not guilty, and then "He's not guilty" chant broke out.
So
Great.
I know nothing about golf. Apparently, the top golfer was arrested today.
On the PGA Tour.
On the PGA Tour.
Was it Happy Gilmore?
It was Happy Gilmore. Yeah, he beat up Bob Barker.
What was he arrested for?
He did not stop for the cops, and apparently he dragged the cop with his golf cart or car or whatever the hell it was.
That sounds like a real big boss man situation.
It sounds like a real big boss man situation.
That's what my plea would be. I'd be like, listen, it was an unfortunate big boss man situation that I dragged this guy with my golf cart. I'm sorry.
I'm sorry.
That's how you get off.
That if you do the I'm sorry
I'm
like
sorry.
that.
Yeah.
Renee Paquette and RJ City to host AEW Meal in a Match YouTube series debuts today at 2 p.m.
Great.
This is the one I've been hinting at for a while, and I even posted that RJ and Renee were working on this.
Very excited.
RJ wrote to me and he's like, "Don't fuck this up for me," something like that. Months ago. Excited for them. This is a spin on the Turner show from the 90s.
Dinner and a Movie.
Which was one of my favorite freaking things to watch.
It's funny.
And I believe, by the way, I have a scoop. I think Dinner and a Movie's coming back.
That'd be amazing. I'd love that.
Did they announce anything? Because I heard that was on the way back. And do you remember the Nitro movie series they used to do?
No, I do not.
Okay.
I do not.
Not saying that's coming back, but I heard a conversation regarding that.
I used to have Dinner and a Movie on tape also.
Oh, because you didn't have cable.
Yeah, as a buddy of mine used to tape it for me, and I would just sit there and watch them. They were so much fun.
They were a lot of fun. And it was so loose.
Yeah.
Like, I miss television being like that. That's why Tech TV was great. It was a very loose product.
G4.
Yeah, I never liked G4.
Really?
Yeah, Tech TV was so much better.
I like G4, man. I was a G4.
I didn't
man.
want the babes. G4 babed it up.
They nerd babed it up.
They nerd
for
babed
sure.
it up. I just wanted old men on Commodore 64s.
Well, G4 always had a good combination. You had attractive young women, and you had your
No women.
run of the
I want
mill-
no women. No women.
No women in tech?
Old men, old overweight men talking about replacing the pins on your CPU.
That was your hashtag, right? Hashtag no women in tech.
No women in Yeah, that was it. Yeah, that was it. I got canceled for that
what
one.
you
dude.
used to do? What was it? Old man radio.
Old man radio. That's what my brother called it, right? Andrew does old man radio.
When we first started doing this, and we used to do the comic show, I remember you'd be like, all right, I got to get out of here. And I'd be like, you'd like, all right, you guys got to leave. And I'd be like, what are you doing, old man radio right now? And you're like, yes.
Yeah.
It's called This Week in Radio Tech.
It's still on. Still
Well,
on.
You're not on it anymore.
I'm not on it. Suncast produces it. Suncast produces it.
Let's continue.
You know, I got that weird thing with like that Mike Pence has, right? I can't be within 100 feet of women by myself, or else I run away. I get very nervous and I go, ah! And I just flap my arms around and I just run away.
I thought you were gonna say that sometimes you look like Ray Bannon from Johnny Quest. That's what I always think of when I think of Mike Pence.
Mike Pence, yeah, he is Ray
Yeah,
Bannon.
he looks like Ray Bannon.
Yeah,
This is like a shitty Ray Bannon.
Weird guy.
Exciting stuff. $2 sounds like a fetish.
You know, to get away from women.
I gotta go.
Yeah.
You Jets. That's not true about the hashtag though.
Which what?
Just in case.
That was the canceled hashtag.
Yeah, I don't want,
was it? What did you say? Andrew?
Hashtag no women in tech.
No women in tech. Yeah.
I don't want Sportskeeda coming after us to publish that.
AEW Dynamite rating fell below 700,000. This is one of the lowest rated episodes. Wednesday night at 672,000. I have to tell you, dude. Listen, I love wrestling. Who was playing on Wednesday?
Huh?
Who was playing on Wednesday?
Oh, the Knicks, dude.
Why? No, were they playing Wednesday or Tuesday? Was it the Rain? Who played Wednesday?
The Knicks.
Who played? No, Knicks. Nobody played on Wednesday.
You sure?
Yeah, so I had no excuse
You
now.
sure about that?
Yeah. Let's see. Knicks.
Oh, they played. Was it on Tuesday?
Tuesday.
Well, tonight's game 6.
Tonight's game 6.
Which I'm already white knuckling about.
yeah, I know. They got to win this.
It's game 6 in Indiana. Knicks basketball, guys.
Who wants to go to Indiana?
Feel it.
Listen. I'm a Knicks. It was Tuesday they played.
Yeah.
But the last couple weeks, I've been watching basketball. I've been watching sports. You know,
Mm-hmm.
I become a sports guy. They played on Tuesday. That was fantastic.
Mm-hmm. Great game. My brother-in-law took my nephew to the playoff game. It was my nephew's first basketball game at a playoff with the Knicks wing, and they got on camera.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you showed. Yeah, that's great.
It's nuts.
That's great. I'm big into the Rangers too.
Well, the Rangers advance, right?
Because like I was talking to Bob, and I'm like, "Yo, we're gonna go to a game, right?" He's like, "No, absolutely. You tell me." I want a Stanley Cup game. That's what I want.
Oh yeah. This is in case you're tuning in.
Dallas played on Wednesday. Yeah, I was watching Dallas.
This is Sportsmen.
Yeah. Mm.
Listen, sometimes I go in and out of this. I'm okay with that.
Well, you got to understand. I think with your market, the New York market, both of your teams.
What do you
There's
mean
a
by
lot of
your market?
Yeah, that sounded weird, man. You can't say that.
I don't live in New York proper.
I don't like how he says New York.
No,
do you hear that?
Yeah.
Yeah. There's a little thing behind that.
There's a little weird twang in your voice,
you
man.
people,
I don't like
you
it.
people.
Yeah.
Things that you people do over there.
I don't like what you're insinuating.
Promo.
Yeah, and then he's like, you know who runs that city? Just saying. These people throws in one of those.
I know. He's got a T-shirt on that says #you people.
Yeah.
So I keep telling him stop wearing it. It's weird.
It's really strange.
Why did we hire this guy?
Talking about shameful people.
No resume.
Vince McMahon has filed a new statement of undisputed material facts.
That's the name of a new faction.
That's the new title belt, the undisputed material facts, which in the Janelle Grant case.
Boy.
This is we have refrained from incorporating this into the show. Not because in any way we are Vince McMahon apologists or Janelle Grant defenders or a Vince McMahon defend, like nothing. It's
gross.
First of all, the whole thing is gross. I don't want to talk about a 75-year-old man's bizarre sexual proclivities and fetishes.
There's also a litany of people who are better qualified to talk about this than us two guys.
Way better. But I also know how this legal stuff works.
Yeah.
And it becomes almost impossible to determine the fact and fiction here, other than the text messages, right?
Mm-hmm.
Vince is claiming that, and obviously you didn't put in any of this into the into the notes. They want to go into arbitration, right? Mm-hmm. And Janelle Grant's lawyers don't want to do that, and they want a settlement, and they're arguing the arbitration. But Janelle Grant's previous attorneys are the ones that work the arbitration. They're the ones that said we want arbitration. Listen, this is going to go and be settled. Mm-hmm. This is not going anywhere. It's really gross stuff.
It's very gross.
There's a lot of crazy accusations being put forward. There's information that she was living with the ex-fiance or the fiance, and she was having an affair with Vince. This is not a simple scenario. Disgusting, sure. But listen, there's a lot of other people that are far better at articulating this and not making a joke out of this. And I don't want to make a joke out of this.
Exactly.
Because I know if we continue talking about it, there's going to be a joke.
Like I said, there's people way better qualified to handle this topic in a more serious manner.
Yeah, Brandon
than us two
Thurston.
guys. Yeah.
John Pollock, just to name two. So we'll see what happens here.
Yeah.
Settlement is probably coming, though.
So
I do find it fascinating that the story here from the attorney is that Vince McMahon, in a rage once they broke up, deleted all the dirty messages from his phone. I can't look at this.
Right.
And I just envisioned him trying to delete text messages, but he can't.
He doesn't know how.
He's on like a game. See, this is where the jokes come in.
Yeah, see, and I can't do it. I'm forcing not to. All right, let's go into something else.
Let's stop that right now. WWE Twitch is hacked. There was a therapy session showing the missing therapist, 55 minutes of the therapist asking questions. This is the return of Uncle Howdy, right?
Yeah, and he was wearing a You People shirt, too. Mm-hmm. Did you see that?
Oh, no. MG, is it you?
Yeah, so this was interesting. I scrubbed through this. I didn't watch the whole thing.
Yeah.
It's an empty chair for the most of it, but there's a QR code that pops up.
Yeah.
I love this shit. Okay,
yes,
I love the weird, spooky, the Chris Jericho stuff they did, and the Way Bryant.
The Way Bryant.
Who the hell is Way Bryant?
Yeah,
Lane Bryant.
Lane Bryant. Oh, that's where you get your clothes, right?
That's where I get my clothes.
I would love it if you started buying your clothes at Lane Bryant. That would tickle me.
If I went, do you want to do that?
If you
want me to go?
If you were just like, Rich, I stopped shopping at Express. I'm going to Lane Bryant from now on, and you're wearing.
I just like lady wear.
Just wearing ladies' clothing. It'd probably be more comfortable.
Very.
Yeah.
Excuse me, ma'am. Do you have this in a 16?
Yeah. You know your lady size.
I don't know what my lady size is actually. I fit into Jess's jeans though. Sometimes I wear I'll put it on, and I'm like, look how good I look in this.
You pop your butt out.
And I pop my butt out. Yeah. I'm like, the stretch material feels good. I, for whatever reason, I have not gotten obsessed with this. Is it? I'm not going to say it's not because I'm not into the Uncle Howdy thing. I want Bo Dallas to do tremendous with this.
Sure.
I want it to work because I love a spooky aspect to this.
Yeah.
But wrestling has been so serious.
Yes.
Okay. For the last year, it has been so serious, and especially the last 6 months of last year and going into WrestleMania, it became a sport. It became a fight sport in a way, right? The presentation changed. The promos got serious. There's blood now. There's more fighting. When you introduce a Papa Shango now,
oh yeah,
is it going to go over as well? Because things have been so serious. I hope it does.
I want to agree with you, but also disagree with you.
Okay, tell me.
Okay, I agree that
I'm building my thought out with this.
Yeah.
And this is the fun thing I'm doing. People are going to be like, "Well, you're a hypocrite when I say I love it." No, I'm building my actual thoughts.
Yeah. No, you're speaking. You're thinking out loud.
I'm thinking out loud.
So I agree with you to a certain extent, but what I disagree with you is I think fandom has become more serious.
I
think fandom has become more rigid in what they perceive pro wrestling to be in the last year. And you can't do this, you can't do that.
Yeah.
Why this, why that? And I think there is a rigidity among the internet wrestling community that is completely bananas to me. And I think when you go online, it's nothing but negativity, right? Very few positive. I think we know the positive people, that talk about wrestling in a positive light. This stuff reminded me of Silent Hill. Very cool.
Very cool. Yeah, no, it's cool. It's cool stuff. But
there's a lot of wacky shit out there
in wrestling
that's still going on. In
current
R-Truth.
The Joe Hendry stuff. Do you know Joe Hendry became Impact wrestler?
Oh,
UK wrestler Joe Hendry.
Yes.
His song became like #1 on the UK iTunes charts.
Really?
I mean, Apple Music charts.
Wow.
He's gotten this momentum. He's become a meme. He's viral all over TikTok. That's wacky stuff. That's cool. R-Truth stuff, wacky stuff. Judgment Day.
Borderline.
Is it wacky or is it serious? Well, they were going to become like that.
It's a little humorous at this point.
Yeah, because they're like grown-ups in like emo makeup. I get it, know? I don't know. I think it'll work. I think that I want it to work.
Yeah.
But they're going to have to do it really well.
Yes.
Like, it can't become hokey. I felt like the Fiend stuff was becoming a little insane.
I think that was a little... Those were definitely litmus tests to see what will work in the future. Like that Mountain Dew match is a good example.
Okay.
It looked visually stimulating.
Great. Do you know that's why we went on terrible when it happened, but when we went to that garden show, my kids just wanted to see Bray.
Mm-hmm.
They were going to have a match, Bray,
right.
And I think it was going to be a lights out match too. They were going to do that at the garden or whatever they were calling it. Very cool.
Now, do you know who's going to be in the family at this point?
I would imagine
Eric
I've
Redbeard.
heard the rumors.
Who have you heard?
Eric Redbeard.
Yeah, okay, that's an obvious.
I've heard Nikki Cross. And
okay, you know what?
That's
you could do Nikki Cross. She was.
Yeah.
You know what? You want to talk about a wacky? Sanity was great in NXT.
Yep.
Yes,
was great.
Yeah.
Joe Gacy from NXT. I've heard his name. And then there's one more I'm forgetting that's obvious. But yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Braun? Alexa?
Yes, Braun. I don't know if it's Braun or not.
I
don't
wouldn't
think it's Braun.
I wouldn't mind it if Braun came back.
If Braun came back to be like a swamp guy.
To that wide family.
They got to do something with him, but he runs a choo-choo train. How do you become a serious guy after that? Like now you want to be an undead? You want to become like a spooky zombie guy?
Dexter Lumis.
Oh, you know what?
Yeah,
You could be a
That's
psychopath
a
guy
guy
in there.
Yeah. Well, because now you'll have the beauty about this, and I do think it's, we don't really have any super inside knowledge about this, but I do think a lot of Triple H is doing is bringing back those factions. So you have the Judgment Day, right? You have the LWO. You have the Arthurs of Pain.
Yeah, Arthurs.
Right.
The Arthurs kids.
You have the Arthurs of Pain. Now you're going to introduce this new wide family. That's going to be awesome.
All right, cool. I'm into it.
And you have Bloodline also.
And you have Bloodline.
So are we going to get some kind of insane war games at one point? That's the end game, right?
Yeah.
Something very cool.
Yeah, you got to do like
very,
something
very
like
cool.
that. All right, what else do we have here?
So are we doing, we're going to go into AEW?
Yeah, let's
we
do
just
it.
talked about that. Dynamite last Wednesday. We got the pay-per-view coming up next weekend. Bryan Danielson and Jon Moxley defeated Jeff Cobb and Kyle Fletcher. Fun match.
Very fun match.
Very fun match. I think Kyle Fletcher is one of the futures of pro wrestling.
And he had mentioned it. You're like, where's Jeff Cobb? And there he was. He showed up.
Boop. Like Beetlejuice.
Yeah.
Malachi Black responds to Adam Copeland. Copeland was attacked on stage by House of Black.
Okay, he's a spooky guy, Malachi.
He is a spooky guy. But he's not over the top, he's not cartoony spooky.
He's just Dutch.
He's just Dutch.
Got it.
Oh, that's how all Dutchmen are.
Yeah.
Eddie Kingston had an injury on the New Japan show. He's out of Anarchy in the Arena. FTR says they know very soon who the replacement will be. Spoiler, it's in the title of our episode. The Bucks defeated Chris Daniels and Matt Sydal. And Renee Paquette was backstage with Tony Storm, Luther, and Mariah.
That was a good segment. I like that.
It was a good segment. Tony Storm does a lot of good stuff. This was a good episode of Dynamite.
It was a really good episode of Dynamite.
Very solid.
I didn't watch it live, however. I watched it the next day. I had it on. We were on the phone Wednesday. Oh, that's what it was. We watched X-Men.
Right.
And then we were on the phone for like an hour talking about X-Men.
Giggling and writing in our diary.
Yeah, that's what happened. Dear diary.
Talking about the boys we
But
like.
don't get pulled over. The cops will read it like they did to Liv Morgan.
That's sad.
How fucked up is that?
That's like super sad. Hook defeated
Is that a
Sebastian.
beeper?
No. Hook defeated Sebastian Wolf. Called out Chris Jericho. Came out with Big Bill. How do you feel about the pants, no shirt, suit jacket
for
Big Bill?
For Big Bill, I don't care for that.
Can you wear that tomorrow?
Well, I'm gonna wear my Sergio Tacchini tracksuit tomorrow in powder blue, and I don't zip it. I open it up to like my belly button.
How many cigars are you gonna smoke tomorrow?
Probably one. I can't do more than that. Yeah. I got a whole bunch there. Look at that.
Did you set up the humidor?
Yeah.
Oh, very nice. Is he coming?
I'm sure he is.
Is he the man with no name coming?
You know he has 4 fingers?
I know.
Look, it's like this.
He's like a Simpsons character.
Yeah, he's a Simpsons character. He is a Simpsons character. He hangs out at that fucking bar with Mo.
It's him and Barney and Mo. Swerve defeated Brian Cage in an AEW World Title Eliminator after
Good
the
match.
Great match, yeah. He was attacked by Nick Wayne and Killswitch. So what's interesting about this is, do you feel that it's Swerve's sins coming back to haunt him?
I mean, he broke into that man's house,
Mm-hmm.
into his gym, and beat the crap out of him in his garage, and like made fun of his dad,
Mm-hmm.
his dead father. Who's the heel here?
Right. I'm really digging what they're doing with Swerve.
I
It's
am
a
too.
good build-up. You know, I was a little worried that once he won the title, they wouldn't put him into anything meaty. But
Yeah.
this is say what you want about Christian, man. That guy's great.
Oh, he's fantastic. So good.
Tony Storm defeated Harley Cameron.
Harley Cameron looked good in this. Tony Storm looked good in this. TBS title contract signing. Willow and Mercedes. What did you think of this?
It was all right.
It was better.
It was better. It was all right.
Yeah.
It was all right. I still I can't listen. I know there's a lot of Sasha Banks / Mercedes money people out there.
That's her cadence with the promo. I mean, she's getting better, but we have evolved beyond the 2016 promo of, oh yeah, you want to go one-on-one with me? Well, we'll see what happens.
I feel like this is going to be a banger, though. I feel like the match is going to be awesome.
Oh yeah, I have no doubt this is a good match. The promo was a little weird. So Nightingale, Willow gets up, and she walks away. She got up to walk away. Mercedes slaps her, and it led to Willow putting her through the table.
Great. That was her first bump in AEW.
Yeah. And people are like, how come she hasn't wrestled? Because she's
recovering.
She's recovering from an injury still.
Here's a quick little, I know we're not doing questions just yet.
Or was. Now she's probably obviously.
Yeah. Get your questions ready, guys. We're going to do questions in a little bit. This is a comment from Chris Hogan in the chat room. Why am I supposed to pay $50 for Double or Nothing? Seriously?
Why am I supposed to? You're not supposed to.
Yeah.
You don't have to.
I think there's a validity to that, though.
Is it that $50 is too much for a pay-per-view?
Is this pay-per-view worth the $50 for fans? Are we spoiled by the WWE system of getting Backlash incorporated into Peacock for $5 a month, and we get all that stuff?
I don't know. It depends. If you listen, I always say, if you have to question the financial buy-in for this, then you shouldn't buy it.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't think you should buy it if you're questioning if it's worth it to buy. You know, everybody views things differently. You know what I freaking paid for? And it's terrible?
Yeah, I got it.
The new Chris Hansen series.
Okay. Let's unpack that. It was
$4.
Why?
It was $4 on YouTube.
Were you hoping that MG was going to get caught?
Yeah. We're here in Michigan. So, big Latina booty lover 96 said in the chat.
But he's just dressed like Predator.
He's like, oh, I thought this was a casting.
Oh no.
I'm at the wrong. I've been talking to the wrong. It's just a big mistake. He's trying to get casted for Predator. He wants to be one of the dogs, the Predator dogs. So that's what he's been digging.
So you paid $800 for the
No.
Hansen show.
I paid $4.
Okay.
And it is so bad.
Is it a month?
I think it's a month.
Okay.
And I put it on, and it's a great example of not having proper editors.
Okay.
It just goes on too long. And like literally, it's shot in a way that you could be done with this in like 4 minutes.
Okay.
It's great for like a 4-minute clip. But he just constantly re-asks the same questions. What were you planning on doing when you got here?
Oh, boy.
What did you mean by this? But really, tell me, what did you plan on doing when you were over? And the guy's like, I was just going to watch a movie.
Yeah.
You know? Like,
anyway.
it's terrible.
Okay, so when you used to buy pay-per-views, did you look at the card first before making...
No, I never did.
Or you were just like, I'm going to get it?
I would just get them all the time.
See, I would always look at the card and be like, you know what? This is not going to be thrilling.
I want to say I started skipping...
When it's split.
Well, growing up, I had that thing.
You had the thing, yeah.
I had the thing. And then I had that other thing.
Mm-hmm.
So I didn't have a lot of that. But there were times that I would be like, I don't have to watch this one.
Yeah. When it's split to the Raw and the SmackDown.
That was it. Yep.
That's when
I never got the SmackDown. I only got the Raw.
I would skip a lot of them. I would just be like, this is too much. I can't.
Would you get the SmackDown ones or no?
I would alternate.
You would alternate.
I'd alternate based on the card, and then I'd plunk down my money. And then, I don't know, I haven't ordered a pay-per-view on Spectrum in like a million years. But I remember at one point they started adding like these ridiculous fees.
On Spectrum.
On Spectrum, on like cable.
Yeah.
Now it's different. Now you just pay $50
I have to tell you,
streaming.
when the network started, do you remember I used to still order it on pay-per-view?
Yeah.
And I had a reason for it. The quality.
Yeah.
The frame rate drove me nuts.
Yeah.
That it wasn't fluid. It was. It looked like it was like choppy a little.
Yeah.
The technology wasn't there in 2013 to put out 60 frame a second matches.
Right.
So I would still order those. I don't know. It really depends, dude.
Depends,
are you that big of an AEW fan that you want to spend $50 on it, or are you not? Do you think the card is good, or you don't?
I think
Whatever.
there's FOMO also involved with it.
You shouldn't have that.
Listen, that's an unfortunate part of the society we live in. That FOMO.
I want to be in bed at 6 o'clock.
I know. The best. West Coast wrestling, baby.
West Coast wrestling. That's all I want.
Get hydrated and be in bed by 9.
So
right?
good.
Have a Celtics.
I would love to live on the West Coast, but only work East Coast hours.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Like be on East Coast time for the West Coast because it's so much easier.
Yeah.
If you live life like that, it's so much easier.
Yeah.
Because you're ahead.
Oh, absolutely.
9 o'clock there, they're going to bed. I got the whole day ahead of me.
Exactly. Let's finish up with Dynamite here. Kazuchika Okada defeated Dax Harwood to retain the Continental title. Great match. My favorite part about this was Dax going no more name calling, and then Okada just called him a bitch. Yeah. So good. I can't tell you guys how much I love American heel Okada. I feel like he's living a dream.
Yeah, he's so good. I like this Okada. And he's wrestling a different style, too.
Mm-hmm. And his English is getting better.
His English is great.
I can't wait for him to cut a full-blown American promo and just wow everybody.
Ah, man. He's something special. And you know what? He's one of those guys that shines on TV here.
Yes.
A lot of people come over and they're like, oh, okay, he's great. But it doesn't have the same impact. He has the same impact.
Here's a question for you.
Yes, sir.
Did he make the right decision not going to WWE?
That's a great question. What would he be doing right now?
That's a pretty good question.
Would he be feuding with Cody? AJ? Probably Nakamura, right? Nakamura would be the guy.
Mm-hmm. Definitely AJ at some point. I think AJ would be a good number one for him,
dude.
Because AJ,
him and The Rock. If you told me that there's a possibility, like even with the possibility that match can happen, I would say he should have gone to WWE.
Yeah,
Okada versus Rock. It's so wacky. It's so wacky.
You think The Rock would no sell him?
No, I think he would have great respect to him. I think he would really appreciate because you don't mess with Okada. He'll slap you in the face.
So good. So at the end of the night, Darby Allin returned, cleared the ring. He ends up being the fourth partner for Team AEW. So you have Darby Allin,
yeah,
Danielson,
yeah,
FTR versus Okada, the Bucks, and Jack Perry.
Good filler.
Good filler.
Yeah, like it's a fine filler match.
It does suck that he couldn't climb Mount Everest.
I like singles. I'm very into singles, especially on pay-per-views.
Yeah.
I don't like mixed like 4-on-4s.
Okay.
On a pay-per-view.
Okay.
But that's me.
See, I like it all.
I love a good tag.
I like
match.
it all, baby.
I love the chaos of.
But it's Anarchy in the Arena, so it makes sense, So they'll have a good match. That'll be fine.
It's gonna be pre-taped. It's gonna be fun, right? It's gonna be pre-taped, right?
No, it's gonna be live in the.
It's gonna be live.
Yeah.
Oh, nice. Very cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, they did that last time. It was live. I like that Danielson's music played for a good 2 minutes
So
at the
good.
start of that match on Dynamite. That was good. AEW Collision and Rampage. It's a double header tomorrow. Will Ospreay, Shane Taylor,
Great.
Serena Deeb, Anna Jay.
Great.
You got a qualifier match for the FTW title. Deonna Purrazzo, Pozizzo, and Robin Renegade, and Roosh in action. Where the hell is Roosh?
Yeah, where is Roosh? He's there.
So many guys.
You have an IWGP title eliminator match added to Double or Nothing. Moxley versus Takeshita.
A title eliminator. Not a title match. Why?
Not a title eliminator match.
Why? It's not. It's a title eliminator match. It's not a title match. What a great stipulation to add for it to be for the IWGP title.
Yeah.
With Takeshita challenging for that. Unless Takeshita's winning this match.
Right. Exactly.
And that's a Forbidden Door match, maybe?
I think you'd have to do like a 3-way if that was the case. If Takeshita wins this, you'd have to do.
Takeshita needs to win a lot.
Does he though? I feel like Takeshita has the aura of a guy that doesn't.
He needs to start winning.
Yeah.
Because I want to see what he could do.
He's
so good.
I would like the eventual Okada Takeshita. So
that's something. I mean, that you know what? That is a Forbidden Door match.
Yeah.
100%.
A lot of them are. They can do internal Forbidden Door. Isn't it nuts how like they've come 4 or 5 years, and you can get internal Forbidden Door matches? He
should become a vampire.
I think so. We're gonna get into that. Double or Nothing. The card as it stands so far. Anarchy in the Arena, which we just talked about. Right. This is next Sunday. AEW International Champion Roderick Strong defends against Will Ospreay. Possible match of the night.
Ospreay has to win.
Ospreay has to win.
Okay.
I'll agree with that. TNT champion Adam Copeland defends against Malachi Black. I think Malachi needs this win. Barbed wire steel cage.
Oh, man. Copeland.
Yeah, I think Malachi wins. I think this is going to be bloody as hell. TBS champion Willow defends against Mercedes. Mercedes has to win, right?
Maybe not. Mercedes loses.
This might be that.
And that's the turn.
Yeah. This might be the night where everybody switches titles.
Every title switches.
Yeah.
I don't see Christian Cage beating Swerve.
Maybe that's the only one that doesn't switch. So Tony Storm defends against Serena Deeb. I could see Serena Deeb taking the belt. Does Tony Storm need the belt at this point?
I think whoever beats her, it's really going to... I think eventually it'll lead to like Mariah turning, right?
Yeah. And the return
I think
of
you
Jamie
keep the
Hayter.
title on Tony. I think you keep it on her. Yeah.
Does she need the belt, though?
She doesn't, but I think you should keep it on her.
Okay. I'm going to go with Serena Deeb. I think she needs to win. And Swerve versus Cage, it would... Again, we've talked about the hot potato aspect of what we'd like to see. I do think if Christian Cage wins, that would be a really bananas ending. But Swerve takes the win back on Wednesday, gets the belt back.
Yeah, we were talking about that. If they started hot potatoing some of these titles, even in WWE, you have like the secondary belts where they just go back and forth between people. We haven't seen that in a while. I'm not against it.
Yeah, I'm with that.
Yeah.
Do you want to go into our next segment?
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay, so we chatted about this very briefly on Beyond the Bell. MG, just so you know, I was breaking your chops this morning. I knew exactly what you were talking about. Wrestling vampire or not?
Yes, wrestling vampire or not.
Who are the wrestling vampires?
Well, there's a lot.
There's a lot.
There's more than people think. Okay. I want you guys to start listing some of them in the chat because it'll be interesting who you guys consider a vampire.
Vampire / child of the night.
A child of the night / vampire. Okay, cool.
Children of the night.
Yeah. Children of the night.
Exactly. / vampire.
Okay. Obviously the Brood, right?
Right.
That would be Edge. Edge is a vampire.
100%.
Yeah, and there's different classifications. He's an interview with the vampire.
Yeah.
A sexy vampire.
He's a Lestat.
He's a Lestat. He's not a Twilight vampire.
And he's not a Dracula.
And he's not a Dracula. But Gangrel is a Dracula.
Gangrel is... No, he borderlines. He's a Lestat guy, too, because he came up with the poofy shirt.
But he's so ugly.
Yeah, why not?
You can't...
He's Donald Logue from the first Blade movie. Because he has the sunglasses on, so he's like the cool dude. Yeah.
Do you like that?
I love it. What a great gimmick. Can you spit blood tomorrow at your party?
Oh, please. I would like nothing more. Do you think you want me to be really out of my fucking mind?
I do. I always want you to, but I always want you to be out of your mind. You're in your home. It's a safe space.
Have you seen that video of the Indian like street vendor that cuts up fruit and he starts banging the pots and pans and starts screaming like a bird and starts banging it on his head? That's what I'm gonna start doing. You got to see that video.
I have not. Please send it to me.
Okay, so we all agree Edge, Christian, and Gangrel interview with a vampires.
Yeah.
Gangrel goes back and forth.
And at one point, Christian and Edge did have fangs.
Oh, but wait a minute. They did have fangs, but didn't Matt and Jeff become the new brood?
But also didn't they announce that we're not the new brood? In that awful promo?
Hold on, the new brood.
No vampire teeth.
They were the new brood. So they were vampires also. They had to have been affected by it. This is after they dumped Michael Hayes as their manager.
Right, but I don't think they ever came out with vampire teeth.
Okay.
I feel like that lasted a week and a half.
The new brood was formed by the Hardy Boys, dumping Michael Hayes as their manager in 1999. They turned heel and briefly were associated with Gangrel. After winning a series of matches against Edge and Christian, dubbed the Terry Invitational Tournament.
Mm-hmm.
Tit.
Yeah.
Tit.
Got it.
Great.
Got it.
They won the services of Terry Runnels as their manager by winning the first ever tag ladder match and blah, blah, blah. Okay. So I guess they were associated for a little bit. They became vampires.
I disagree. I don't think they ever became vampires.
Were they Guillermo's?
I don't think they were familiars. I think they were just goth kids.
My familia, Guillermo. Do you think they were just goth kids cosplaying with like a real vampire and it was going to get dangerous? And they're like, no.
I think so. I think
we're going back to North Carolina.
Yeah. What a rub, though. You think about that like 20 plus years later. What a rub for these guys to come out with Michael P.S. Hayes. Right? Like two Southern guys. They were like in their early 20s. And then,
dude, they've been there since they were like 16, 17.
It's a free bird that you're coming out
with.
You're
coming out with like the free bird. Okay, Papa Shango. No, I don't think he's a vampire.
Papa Shango, child of the night.
He's a child of the night.
Voodoo priest.
He is a voodoo priest.
Now, did Papa Shango have mystical powers?
Yeah, because remember he made Ultimate Warrior throw up Bush's baked beans all over the place.
That's right.
I ate too much of the beans.
What a great gimmick for the Godfather, right? Like that guy had a great career. Well, Papa Shango.
Kama was like not great.
But still, you're in the nation.
No. Kama, not Kama Mustafa.
Oh, yeah.
Kama was a prize fighter.
That's right.
He was Balrog, essentially.
That's right, yeah.
And he melted down the urn to make a gold chain.
That's right.
Ridiculous.
I always skip Kama and I go straight to Kama Mustafa.
Yeah.
So Papa Shango, Kama, whatever.
Kama Mustafa.
Kama Mustafa, nation.
He became radicalized, dude.
Godfather, the best.
Godfather, the best.
Yeah. And then Right to Censor Godfather, which I also enjoyed.
That bothered me.
Wait, why?
Yeah.
You wanted to see the host?
Yeah, I want to see the Ho Train.
You want to see the Ho Train?
Yeah.
You want to take old biddies in many different cities?
Oh, man. What a great gimmick. All right.
Kevin Thorne.
So, Papa Shango, Creature of the Night.
Creature of the Night.
Okay. Kevin Thorne, Vampire.
What was Mordecai? Mordecai was supposed to be like an angel, right?
He was a fallen angel?
Okay.
Could you say he's a fallen angel?
Well, we should put Christopher Daniels on this list, too.
No, he never...
Because he did come out with like the druid
He did do an exorcism on Cody.
At one point. Right.
Yes. And he did do an exorcism on Cody on Being the Elite.
Mm-hmm.
When he was possessed by WWE, where he goes 1993. Yeah. He was doing like that stuff. Great. That Cody changed my whole thing about his depth. Do you know that?
Really?
I never saw it happen live.
Huh.
Cody's great, but he's... listen, no knock. He's fantastic, but his father is so effing... charming and charismatic.
Big chat.
It's a hard comparison.
Yeah.
And Cody's he's tight. You know what I mean? He's not loose.
I think he's loose. I think at that stage the presentation was tight.
Yeah.
But the behind the scenes Cody
was so loose.
Probably the loosest dude on the planet.
Dude, I died when he did the exorcism on Cody. So I guess we'll hold on Chris Daniels. Ariel, Kevin Thorne, vampires.
Straight
right?
up vampires.
Boogeyman.
Child of the Night. Creature of the Night.
He's from the Netherlands.
Oh, yeah. Not the Netherworld?
No, the Netherlands.
The Netherlands.
Where, that's where all the spooky... Beetlejuice.
Okay.
Beetlejuice, Malachi Black, and him. All from the same area.
Boogeyman's Dutch?
He's Dutch.
I had no idea.
Yeah, the Netherlands, dude. That's what they've been saying the whole time. Luna Vachon.
Oh. Did Luna Vachon have powers?
Yo, she would be a great Morlock.
Yes. She looked nuts.
Her finish is a scream, and then the veins start popping on the side. I would Scary Sherry. What is she?
Human. No,
Okay.
not spooky.
That's spooky. Luna Vachon, however, spooky.
Very spooky.
Okay. Creature of the night.
Borderline creature of the night.
Borderline creature of the night.
I always got strong biker babe vibes from Luna. I think that's where we're going.
I
with
put
it.
one of the funniest things I ever posted was it was a promo of Luna Vachon,
Mm-hmm.
and I wrote behind the scenes of Ronda Rousey losing it,
Uh-huh.
and it was just her screaming, and I kept doing this thing on Twitter about how I wanted Ronda to slowly morph into a Luna
I would
Vachon
love
type
that.
character
I would
where she
love that.
goes totally berserk, but she just says the most off the wall conspiracy theories.
Does the face paint?
Investigate 311.
Oh, but
The Boogeyman, we did that. Luna Vachon. Viscera. Oh, Viscera.
yeah.
Okay, so Viscera is interesting
well, because he was
a hip hop guy.
but he was one of the acolytes, right?
We got to talk about the acolytes. Are the acolytes? What are they?
All children of the night. Midian, Viscera, and Bradshaw and Farouk, 100%.
Well, what is the Undertaker? The Undertaker's multiple things. He is an undead,
yes,
right? Let's list his facts on the back of his card. He's an undead.
definitely was a vampire at one point.
What he was because he had the
Right.
wings, so he was a vampire at one point.
He was some kind of dark lord.
He is a Dark Lord.
Right.
Yeah. I'm curious. Chat room. Is the Undertaker a vampire at any point?
I do think at that point he displayed the vampiric power of hypnotism.
This is my birthday gift to myself to do this segment, by the way.
Great, happy birthday!
Thank you.
Happy birthday, Andrew.
Thank you.
I think at that point he displayed the vampiric power of
Okay.
hypnotism. So he made the acolytes. He turned Farouk and Bradshaw into like hardcore, like spooky guys. And the only reason I'm saying that is because remember they had like
the insane
the cryptics on them
Yeah.
on their chest. You know,
the cryptics. Yes. So I mean,
and Midian, and Midian, too.
unfortunately, worst case scenario, they were just goth kids.
right?
Worst case.
Mhm.
Best case, they are vampires.
Also, Paul Bear, King of the Spookies.
What is he? He's a crypt keeper.
I think he was. Yeah, he's like a crypt.
He's
keeper.
the crypt keeper. Yeah.
Definitely also undead vibes from Paul Bear.
Yeah, undead vibes from him. Okay, so Viscera. He's a creature of the night,
Yes,
not a vampire. Undertaker, back and forth.
back and forth.
Damian Priest.
Creature of the night.
Is he? Because he was quite vampirish in Ring of Honor at times.
I do think he. Again, I've said this every week. Please give this man lightning powers.
Or was he more demonic? Oh, that's the other thing.
Mhm.
Demonic.
Demonic. Yes.
Okay. Viscera. Demonic.
Demonic.
Viscera demonic.
Yeah, it was very demonic.
Great.
Because he had the unnatural white contacts. Remember?
Yes. We're looking at the chat room here.
R.I.P. Viscera, man. I got a great Mabel.
Mabel. Men on a
I
mission.
still love Men on a Mission.
Mabel was the third man, if you ask Eric Bischoff.
Oh yeah,
That's what he says Steve said.
I would have been cool with that.
Ric Flair, vampire? Yeah, dude.
Vampire Hunter.
You know, he's the OG Dracula.
He's the original Dracula.
Yeah, he's the original one. Let's see what else. Karrion Kross.
Karrion Kross hovers.
Oh, yeah. What are they?
I think I feel like they're more BDSM than spooky. You know what I mean?
They're Hellraisers?
Yeah. Sure. They're more like biker leather than spooky leather. Damon Priest spooky leather. Malachi Black spooky leather.
Vampiro. Obviously
Yeah.
a vampire.
Vampire obviously.
Sting.
Spooky.
And undead.
Spooky. Undead, yeah. The way he was introduced. Sure.
You right? Let's see who we're missing. Muda.
Demonic.
Demonic. 100%.
100% demonic.
100% demonic. Not a vampire.
No.
Bull Nakano.
Bull Nakano, again, the same thing with Luna, is she just had the face paint
Human.
human. Malachi Black.
Malachi Black is demonic.
Demonic.
Yeah.
Good way to put it.
Su Young.
Su Young.
Demonic.
Demonic.
Oh, maybe a vampire, though.
But then how would you classify Asuka?
War paint.
War paint?
Yeah.
Okay.
There's no extra spookiness with her.
Asuka does do the mist on occasion, though, which is demonic.
But does
in and
her
of itself.
mist have the power of possession
That is true.
or crippling?
Right.
You know how they do it, right?
The 2 glands in the throat.
Yeah. They train the gland.
Like a snake.
Muda did a serious interview one time talking about it. and you train it, and
So
depending on what gland you push on, it's a different
The
mist.
different color, yeah.
Yeah.
Abaddon. Demonic.
Undead. Abaddon is the undead. Isn't that her thing? The undead something?
I always want to say like she's like a techno undead.
She's a techno
Like a
undead.
cyber undead. Just because of like the head thing that's happening. Danhausen.
A vampire.
Classic spooky.
Oh, no. He's a vampire. He's he is the closest to a Dracule that we can get. Okay? Just for reference. Okay? That's a vampire.
I would say
That's a Dracula.
This is my interpretation.
Yeah.
He's a horror host. You remember like the horror host, like Elvira and Zachary and stuff like that?
Yeah.
He's a horror host.
He's Grandpa Al.
He's a horror host that's actually a vampire.
He's actually Grandpa Al Lewis.
Sure.
Because Grandpa Al Lewis was a vampire, right?
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
what it was.
That guy really held on to that gimmick too.
Yo, he would walk around with that.
Mhm.
He was living in the city for a long time.
Yeah, isn't that crazy?
And he would walk around in his Grandpa Al outfit, like in Midtown.
Mm-hmm.
He would just walk around as Grandpa Al.
He held on to that gimmick so long. And I feel like
Him and Curtis Lewa used to fight crime together.
here's the weird thing about Grandpa Lewis. I remember like as a kid and even like as a sort of adult, where when it was a slow news day, you would have a segment with Grandpa Al Lewis. We're like, oh, here's what he's got to say about this. And he's like, get out and vote, kids.
These tomatoes prices are getting too crazy.
It was never too long. It was only 2 seconds. It was like 2 or 3 seconds of Grandpa Al Lewis. Kane.
Kane is an undead.
He's a demonic undead.
He's a demonic undead.
Yeah. Original Mankind. Demonic. No.
No?
No. Demonic. Spooky. He lived in the boiler room. He was supposed to be the foil.
Well, he was supposed to be Lenny. Remember he had the mice
From,
with
like,
him?
Mice and Men?
Yeah, he was like Lenny.
All right. I give him the spooky because he had the ankh. He had the mask. Paul Bear was the guy. Well,
Deranged guy.
deranged, yeah.
Uncle Paul.
Mm-hmm.
You call him Uncle Paul. That screech that he did,
The pig screech.
the pig screech.
Pig squeal, yeah.
Crazy. I mean, he was when he went over there, I remember going on the message boards and reading. So 1995, right? 95, 96. I remember reading about how could they do this to Cactus Jack?
Right.
Like this hardcore, like a legendary guy
Right.
for cultism for wrestling, right? Like you're looking at this guy as like he's one of the best. He's Cactus Jack. He's great. He's crazy. And now you're making him into a boiler boy.
But then you saw it and went, holy shit.
You saw him do it.
Yeah.
And you know what it was? Him ripping the fucking hair out
with the mask.
With
And
the-
you're like,
oh
my-
man,
Yeah.
so good.
The brown.
I would like to see him as a vampire, but he's a very friendly vampire.
Yeah. Oh, well, that's the thing. Like that evolved into something like so far beyond what it started as, right?
Well, at one point they just totally abandoned all of it,
Everything.
and they're like, "Oh, you're just Mick."
Yeah.
He had 4 personalities in that company.
Well, that's
at the same time.
right. So that they abandoned the Mankind and were just like, all right, you're nuts now.
You're
And
just,
that was it.
Yeah. You're just nuts.
Like you have a multiple personality thing.
Yeah.
Okay, great.
Darby. He's a spooky boy,
Goth boy.
goth boy.
That's it.
Yeah, that's fine.
That's it. No.
No. Okay,
Powers.
let's go with
These
powers. Okay, let's go with powers. What was the Undertaker's power?
Electricity.
Yeah.
Lights out
And lightning.
and lightning.
Okay.
Well,
Kane, fire
fire
and lights out.
and lights out.
Controls the power. They both. That is their shared mutant ability
Right.
between siblings.
Fire and lightning.
They could turn off the lights.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Gangrel,
Vampire.
vampire, all of it,
Yeah.
right? The
Yeah, all of
Papa Shango, obviously voodoo.
Yeah.
Kevin Thorne and Ariel,
Vampires.
vampires. That was just Boogeyman. What was he? He ate worms
But he was supposed to be from like a dark dimension.
from
right?
a dark dimension. Yeah. Damian Priest. Does he? He has no spooky powers. He needs them.
Yeah, he needs them.
What do you think? He needs to start rolling his eyes back.
Yeah, you think so?
Yeah.
Electricity, man. Give this guy electricity. Maybe
I had
smog.
I had a great joke I said to Jess about Damian Priest the other day that I don't want to repeat it on there.
Sure.
It was so good. Nothing bad.
Ooh, good supernatural character. Do you consider Broken Matt Hardy a supernatural character?
Yeah.
Okay.
Interdimensional
character.
Yeah.
Bray Wyatt,
Oh, Bray Wyatt.
arguably one of the greatest supernatural characters ever created.
He was he was a cult leader, right? That's what it was.
That developed supernatural powers.
It's almost like the Undertaker, but backwards.
Yeah.
Right? Undertaker started off with a undead man with supernatural powers, and then he became a cult leader.
And then a biker.
And then he became a guy that was at a thing in Washington once.
Oh, the American badass. How could you?
You know? and then he became an undead again.
Yeah.
Listen, guys, we're having fun.
Yeah.
I don't care. I don't care what you believe.
Undertaker
I don't care
wasn't
what you
really
like.
there.
All
He
right,
wasn't
I don't
there. I
give a
don't think he was
shit.
there.
I don't care who you vote for. I don't care any. I'm having fun here. I don't want to get people on my timeline now.
Are you going to get people on your timeline? Undertaker was not there.
He wasn't there. Why would you say that?
Oh, the American
Couple of
badass. How could you?
recent ones.
So Bray went from cult leader to
Bray went from Cape Fear.
Right. to being like a spooky guy, but not fully committed. Right?
Make your skin crawl.
And then he became the Fiend.
Right. And then further that to the, I think the Playhouse stuff was very spooky too. Because that was in another dimension.
My kids love that. They love the Playhouse stuff. The boy in the red shirt. That's what they would call him.
That was in another dimension.
That was in another dimension.
Right.
And John Cena's still there.
That leads into Alexa Bliss part of it too.
Oh, Alexa.
That character
She became
was-
spooky.
Alexa became spooky. All right, let's do questions.
Sure.
20 minutes here. Boys and girls, submit your questions in the chat room. We will do our best to answer them on this beautiful Friday morning here. We do a show on Friday mornings, if you guys don't know.
We do.
10:30 Eastern on YouTube.
EST, baby, because we're the EST. Everything pro wrestling. Next year, should AEW move Double or Nothing to Atlantic City? Hashtag Ask Macman.
Dude, I would love that.
Yeah. Closer.
From the Taj Mahal in Atlantic City.
You know what? We'll get a couple of tickets. We'll stay at the Bellagio.
Oh, I'd love that.
Take a walk
Yeah.
over. Check out the fountain.
What is it? Ocean Club? The Beach Club?
Oh, yeah.
We could do that one too. I think they're going to stay in Vegas. By the way, their estimates are so off on what WrestleMania is going to draw. Did you hear their like convention commissioner or whatever did the whole thing is saying 180,000 people are going to be in town during WrestleMania weekend?
Wow.
I don't know how they're doing that math during Easter break.
What's happening over here?
Oh, it's an X-Men? This is the guy comic books explain. What is it?
He's explaining
How the X-Men killed Thanos.
Okay.
Did you read that one?
No.
I don't like those.
Certain authors and writers I tend to skip just
Even though you like the series.
even though I like the series.
Oh, look at this. They copied us.
Oh, interesting. This is a super chat from Paul Anthony Moss. Other day on X, someone asked if Double or Nothing would be changing location next year, and SRS replied, "I think it will. Have you heard anything?"
I guess that was a question. Well, listen, it's an expensive weekend to go Memorial Day weekend. Maybe the bigger question is, do you change Memorial Day weekend?
Yeah.
But you could see these ticket sales. They didn't. Double or Nothing is their big pay-per-view.
Yeah.
And it's not great. It's not great.
Is Double or Nothing their big pay-per-view? Is Double or Nothing their WrestleMania?
All in, all out,
yeah.
and Double or Nothing. Those are the three big ones. And now Forbidden Door. I mean but that's a gimmick pay-per-view, you know.
What? Okay.
Fifth year anniversary this year.
So if I could succinctly say this to you.
Oh my God, Satnam Singh versus Bryan Danielson has been announced for AEW in Bakersfield, California.
Give it to me. Hell yeah. I want to see that big dude wrestle that small guy. That smaller man.
I want to see this.
Yeah, absolutely. 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 So if I could put this succinctly to you, what could AEW do to have their version of a WrestleMania type event? Because like you just said, I'm confused, right?
Well, All In.
You're
They have it with All In.
Okay.
But it's going to be interesting what they do next year. Not so much this year. Like this year, I get it. They booked that venue up for 2 years. They got a great deal. You know, they
So all in Wembley is their WrestleMania.
All in Wembley is their WrestleMania. But next year, what do they do?
Okay.
That's going to be the telling. Like, obviously, if you ask, you're like, well, what's their WrestleMania? I would say it's that, right?
Now,
it's all in. But
is there a chance to do a third, like a three-peat, if depending on
I don't think they'll do Wembley.
This next crowd at Wembley.
I don't think they should.
Okay.
I don't think they should. I think that would be a mistake. Because if it's a killer show, right? A killer, which very possibly it could be unbelievable.
Yeah.
They'll probably have about 50,000 people in that building.
I'll say again 75 like last year.
No way.
Yeah.
No way. Their tickets are not tracking at all.
I said it last year and I was right.
And you were right. Yeah.
I'm going to say 75.
But that was before the tickets went on sale.
75. It's going to happen.
Let's see. WrestleTix. Let's see what he has to say. Let's see what yous have to say.
Yeah, let's see what yous got to say.
All in. Okay. Right now, they have 31,000 tickets. 39,000 tickets distributed. It's set up for 51,000 because they're doing a big stage.
Oh, okay.
Okay. There's 11,000 tickets available. There's 102 days to the show.
Sell out. It's going to sell out.
No, I think it'll be close. They'll sell another like 4,000 tickets. It's not going to, maybe they'll be shy of 50,000 to be honest.
It's the end of August, right? 3 months?
The end of August.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So 3 months.
Yeah, but once they announce some of these matches, then it'll,
Yeah, dude.
It'll pick up. Let's see. Double or Nothing has, I spelled nothing wrong. Oh, there it is. May 10th is the last update here, so 7 days ago. It's about 1,000 tickets left, probably less now. So it's set up for 7,000 people. They'll probably get 7,000 people in there. But you know what? Vegas is the easiest place to sell tickets because you run a deal with the casinos.
Yep.
Like I'm very tied to Vegas.
Yeah.
with everything. No. They don't want to talk about that. They don't like it when you do that. I know how Vegas works with tickets, especially ticket sales.
Yeah.
The fact that the casino, you should be able to sell this out fully. You should have a deal with the MGM Grand. You should be able to get the big spenders in there. You should be able to have them bring their clients out.
Yeah.
Maybe they are doing that. But to run the MGM Grand and not sell it out fully is bizarre to me.
Okay.
Memorial Day weekend, big weekend there. Vegas is bumping.
Yeah, huge.
I've seen and heard no marketing right now.
Well, regardless.
And the show's in 2 weeks.
Even if they don't sell it out, is there a possibility of a visual sellout through comps?
I think it'll be a visual sellout for what they have set up. But the MGM Grand fits more than 7,000 people.
Okay.
It's like 11,000.
Yeah.
I do like that hotel, too.
The MGM?
It's like right at the end of the strip.
Yeah, it's nice.
This is from...
They're all fun.
This is from Viking Blader. Do you think Malachi takes the TNT title? I'm going to say yes.
You're saying yes. I'm going to go no.
I'm going to say yes. Let's see. This is from Good Doer. Do you think the Arlington shows are a play to warm the fan base up for a stadium show next year? They may be planting the seeds. Seeing the city get behind AEW has me thinking.
I mean, what stadium are you running? You're not running Dallas. You're not running Cowboys Stadium.
Jerry World. Yeah, that's the only one that's right there.
So,
as far as a big stadium.
I mean, they could do something fun in Jacksonville. I would go to Florida for that. If they ran a stadium show, if they ran All In Jacksonville, you could do 40,000 people.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Will it draw 40 in Jacksonville? I don't know. You know what? Maybe because it would be the first one done in the States. So it'll be a big draw, but that's an easy 2-hour flight, dude.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, 100%.
I mean...
Hop on that plane
and be down there and you're good. They're going to have to make it, when they come here, they're going to have to make it a destination city that's easily accessible. I wouldn't run New York. I wouldn't run... Your options, you want to run Florida, really.
Right. Yeah.
So, we'll see.
This is another one from Good Doer. Do you guys think Ring of Honor can get on Venu Sports? A little too close to Xenu, if you ask me.
Yo, that name sucks. Amazing, right? Isn't it amazing that these giant conglomerates...
Venu.
Warner, who is it? Warner, Disney, and who else?
ESPN.
Who was it?
Netflix,
No. Warner, Disney, and
Amazon.
I literally reported.
I saw the graphic, and I'm spacing out. Anyway, do you think Ring of Honor can get on Venu Sports? If so, do you think TK should move any major stars over to the brand to establish it? Once again, who do you move over?
Fox. It's
Fox.
ESPN.
Okay.
It's Disney, ESPN, Fox, and Warner.
Terrible name.
I don't know. I don't know what the plan with this is. And, you talk about why is AEW not signed yet?
Mm-hmm.
People are questioning this. Sean had a great report that I wanted to go into, but MG did not put it in the notes.
Oh, well.
If you could find that, it was a Fightful Select story that I was talking to Sean about. But, a lot has changed in television. A lot of the decision-making goes well beyond pro wrestling on TV. Executives are changing over. Mergers happened. Downsizing has happened. Priorities have shifted. NBA rights has become a big issue. The landscape of TV is changing really aggressively.
Yeah.
More than it's ever been. How does this play a part for Venu Sports?
Is it pronounced Venu or Venue?
Venu? Venu?
Also, both stupid.
But the most amazing part of this is that you had three of the largest conglomerates in television, minus NBC and Peacock and Paramount, right? And this was the best that they could do. This is a great compromise name of committees.
Oh, Venue without the E.
It's a stupid... I want to be in there for that pitch meeting. I want to know how they sold it. Maybe they could sell me. Tell me. Sell it to me. I want to know how you came up with this stupid name.
AI. Guarantee it.
It had to be.
Guarantee it. Guarantee it. Somebody put it through an algorithm.
Some study was done that the pronunciation of this works in X amount of languages, and a V and a U to begin a word and to end the word make people feel 32%. I've been in these fucking meetings.
I know, they're terrible.
And I want to blow my brains out.
Yeah.
I was in a meeting, and it was about doing an event, okay, for another venue. And they sat down, and they brought me all these statistics. And all I kept asking them is, how much money do you anticipate that we're going to make, and what is the expense here? That's all I needed. And they sat down for 45 minutes and told me all the ways that they're going to be able to connect and bring people. And I'm like, you're not explaining anything to me.
Right.
This is all corporate hoopla. Corporate marketing hoopla.
Yeah.
And I'm like, your jobs are all being full of shit. That's what it is.
Right. Yeah.
Everybody's a lot. Nobody knows.
But we need to hit these bullet points.
We need to hit these bullet points.
To tell you these things. All right. Your thoughts on King and the Queen crowns?
Okay, cool. I think they could do something with this. I love the King of the Ring. I love tournaments.
Same here.
Did you see they're going to be selling the crown?
Oh, really?
It's like, did you see that? WWE shop. Look at this
put
crown.
Some effort into it this time.
What, the crown?
Yeah, they're actually look like.
Oh, dude, look at this Bret Hart belt.
Studded. Yeah.
Look at this Bret Hart.
All right. You gonna get it?
No.
When are you gonna start rocking belts in public?
Never will happen.
Tomorrow. It's your birthday.
You think I should just walk around with the title belt tomorrow?
I think you should walk around with the title belt tomorrow underneath your tracksuit.
And a sweaty rag?
Underneath your tracksuit.
And a sweaty... You know what? I will do that tomorrow.
And a do-rag.
And a do-rag? Okay,
Yeah,
I'll put on a do-rag. I'll wear the title.
I just want to see you in a do-rag.
And I got a bald cap here, too.
I want to see you in a do-rag smoking Philly blunts.
That might have happened once or twice.
This is from Noob and Company. What are your thoughts on a potential NWA NXT crossover? I believe that it's an interesting concept, but it would also be good to see NWA.
I'm all for it.
Same
Why
here.
would you be against it? Why would you be against somebody getting mainstream exposure and doing something unique there?
Did that Billy Corgan show start?
It either started or it's starting.
Okay. MG, do you have any word on that? That Billy Corgan reality show?
Let me look, see if I can find
Billy
it.
Corgan.
Yeah.
Vampire.
Oh, yeah, 100%.
He's a vampire.
100%.
But he's a Nosferatu.
yes.
Like very vampiric.
Classic.
I like when he does this. He elongates his fingers regularly.
The nails come out. We got to get him back on the show again.
He just did In the Weeds, yeah.
Did he?
I may have missed his publicist email.
Oh, you got to get on that.
I got to get... Billy's here in August, I think. He's at the Garden.
Yeah, we got to see that.
The world is a vampire.
See if we can get the hookup for those tickets.
I could probably get those tickets.
Does Paul Anthony Moss, does Ring of Honor Punishment Martinez count as a vampire, or was that more demonic? What was Viscera in Ministry of Darkness? I did also... Oh, Mortis and Wrath.
Mortis and Wrath. What were they?
Those guys were all spooky, all demonic.
Spooky.
Punishment Martinez more demonic.
Yeah.
Yeah, more demonic
I got an answer on the Corrigan.
Okay,
Shoot.
yeah, what is it? Carney World.
It premiered on CW this week. On
Plus,
the
CW Plus.
Ah, okay.
Yeah.
Streaming. I mean, what the hell do they have on the CW? They can't just put it on a random time on that channel? They have programming throughout the night?
I think
the Ray
so.
Romano repeat is more important than putting on something new?
Oh, yeah, Suits.
You know what would be nice? They should, Suits
Suits on every network.
Suits on everything. All right, what else do we have?
Let's do a couple more and then get out of here. This is from Cadillac Carson. Whose entrance theme do you think they played during the Anarchy match?
Danielson's they did, right?
Mm-hmm.
Moxley they could do again.
Yeah. Well, no, because Moxley's not in that match.
Oh, Moxley's not in that match. Oh, yeah, you're right. Danielson, I guess.
Danielson, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
I do want to say one thing, though. WWE's themes are so bad.
That's been going around, right?
I did not realize how bad it was until the jokes started happening.
Generic themes, yeah.
And I'm like, oh my God, these are from the video game. Like, these are like the bad generic Wrestler 1, generic Wrestler 2.
Yeah, Wrestle theme number 1. But wasn't that the story of the NWO theme?
That it was... The NWO theme was a mix of 2 Hendrix songs, and it was originally... I think that's a myth, to be honest.
That it was just some kind of like...
The porno beat.
It was... I remember hearing a story about how it was like it was just a music bed that was in a program, and they were like, go with it, you know?
Yeah.
All right, Brian Knight. Well, WWE and Noah have a working relationship.
I saw a lot of people speculating about that. They have a new president of Noah, and he said that one of his goals is to strengthen the relationship between Noah.
Interesting.
So, maybe. I mean, I don't know. I don't...
Cyber Fight company in general, so...
Cyber Fight, so New Japan also would be included in that.
Hey.
Tokijo Pro 2, and I believe DDT.
I don't know. You know, the company's different. I can't predict that company like we did for the last 40 years.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, like if Vince was there, I would say no because he has no interest in that. But he has, you know, a wrestler running creative
who likes cool shit.
So
you know. Look at.
I'm sorry. New Japan is Bushi, not Cyber. But it would be all a Cyber. But you know, the question here was that there is a relationship between Noah and New Japan.
Yep.
You know, so how would that impact anything else? I don't know. I think this is a lot of speculation. It's one guy's hopes. I hope to see something different.
One man's hopes and dreams.
One man hopes and dreams.
The New Japan thing is very interesting, and I feel like, you know, we have not heard anything about it, but I do feel like WWE has a sort of burgeoning relationship with them. Look at the amazing placement that they have given Tama Tonga. I feel like if Vince was in charge, this whole last couple of weeks would not have happened.
No, I don't think Tonga Lobo would have been there.
Yeah, dude.
Camacho.
Remember?
Yeah. That man was Camacho.
But to have Tama Tonga, who was in Japan for a million years, come over right to the main roster. They didn't Finn Balor him.
He was also the fake Kane.
Who, Tama Tonga?
Yeah. And the fake Undertaker.
Let's see. Paul Anthony Moss, after facing Willow, who would you like to see Mercedes feud with? A returning Britt Baker or someone else? Everybody. I think everybody should gun for that title if Mercedes wins.
Huh. Yeah, you could do Britt.
I would love to see Thunder Rosa versus Mercedes.
Yeah, there's a lot of those I want to see. Saraya.
I don't want to see that.
Have they ever wrestled?
I want to say yes.
They might have.
Yeah.
That's how she got. One of them got banged up because of it.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
That's what led to Saraya having to retire.
Yes. That's interesting. That's a nice story right there.
Let's do one more. Do you think Moxley being a bigger part of New Japan is something they'll use toward the Elite storyline? I feel like Mox is doing his own thing.
I don't know. I don't know what they're doing with
because
that. Their booking has gotten a little confusing.
Well, also, is it a soft breakup of Blackpool Combat Club because none of these guys are interacting with each other?
Well, they're having problems. Claudio, I think the story's going to be them losing and Claudio and Danielson becoming a match.
I would like to see that a lot.
Yeah.
That
Those guys
will
will do like a very old-timey match.
Yeah. Old school.
Yeah.
Like helicopter spin.
Helicopter spin for sure.
Definitely the Claudio spin.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I got one last question, and let's end it how we started.
Top 3 X-Men characters of all time. I got Wolverine, Storm, Nightcrawler. Wolverine, Cyclops.
I agree.
Can I... Magneto.
Okay. All right.
It's hard. I like so many of them.
It's tough to... It's like X-Men team-wise.
X-Men team-wise.
Team-wise, I'll go Cyclops, Wolverine, and Beast.
Okay.
Or Storm, maybe. Storm, throw that in there, because I feel like Storm was always
not Jean.
Not Jean.
You don't like Jean?
I like
Jean or Madeline?
Jean.
Yeah?
Yeah. I was always more of a Storm.
I like the Goblin Queen.
I like Storm a lot.
Storm's great. I do like how Rogue became such an important character.
Yes.
They did good by her.
MG, have you watched any of this yet?
No, and I'm going to binge it all at once. And I
think you'd lose your mind.
Well, it's like 5 hours.
I have to get into it.
Yeah, it's 5 hours.
Get into it. And I can't get through the first episode for some reason.
Why?
Like once I get through that first episode, I don't know. I'm just not. I'm not.
You know why?
Because he's on the side of the humans.
Yeah, he's yeah. That's why.
He's like, oh.
What do they call? What are they called?
The Friends of Humanity.
The Friends of Humanity. Dude, can we get a Friends of Humanity shirt from Friends? of Humanity T-shirt.
MG's definitely on the wrong side of history.
Oh, dude, no, I cannot get him this. I cannot get him this.
Oh no.
Oh no, dude, this is
definitely.
That is not what they wore on the show, did they?
I don't think so.
I cannot.
I think somebody made that.
I want to know the person that is wearing that shirt and walking around.
You know what I definitely want? If there's any merch from the show, the Xavier Institute X-Men mugs that are just blue.
Those are great. Yeah.
With like the X symbol on it. I haven't seen anyone that's good. I've looked a bunch. Who are your favorite X-Men,
MG?
Toad.
Wolverine. I like Charles Xavier.
Mm-hmm.
I like that character. And
can I tell you?
The
fact that he goes Charles Xavier. That's a good character for me.
I think he's looking at a screen right now. That's a good character for me. I've always been a big Beast fan. The joke,
yeah, you like Beast.
The joke that I have with my wife is that when I get too drunk, I turn into Beast. I start jumping up on shit.
You turn into an uneducated Hank McCoy.
Just start jumping up on shit and reading.
Gambit, great character.
Gambit, great character. Yeah,
great character.
All the X-Men.
The heels. Who's your favorite heel?
Oh, I gotta go Magneto. I'm a big Magneto fan.
Outside of Magneto.
Give me
your top 3 heels in that, like favorite heels.
I love Omega Red.
Okay.
Big Sabretooth guy.
Yeah.
Do the Sentinels count as one? I just like big robots.
The whole like Master Mold stuff counts.
Nimrod,
good
Nimrod's
heel.
a good one. Master Mold.
Apocalypse.
Juggernaut.
Apocalypse, great one.
It's a good big bad guy.
I like the Apocalypse stuff.
Same here.
I like him. Oh, my... He does an Andre the Giant, doesn't it? Doesn't he do Andre?
Yes, he does. Mr. Sinister? The Sinister, you'd lose your mind if you did a deep dive on what has happened to the Mr. Sinister character in the last 10 years.
I know that he was a geneticist.
Yes.
And he was trying to cure his wife.
Something like that.
And then he mutated himself into this thing. But he was also Jack the Ripper.
The original...
Wasn't he?
The original character, Nathaniel Essex, was a scientist in the 1800s.
Okay.
Who was a geneticist. He died, but cloned himself into the first Mr. Sinister body, who keeps genetically modifying himself. Right?
So he's going to now go back and genetically modify himself to look normal again.
Right. Obsessed with the Summers DNA.
Why?
Because it transcends time. You got to remember,
I know, but...
the 3 Summers brothers, his dad's a space pirate, his son's Cable.
And then his brother's
Jean
Havoc.
Grey, and Jean Grey with the Phoenix. Like he's obsessed with like they didn't really introduce Havoc.
Why doesn't he go after why doesn't he go after Havoc?
Well, on the show there's no Havoc.
No, I know, but in general, like his obsession, it's not with Havoc.
I think he has.
Has he?
Yeah.
Vulcan's
great. That whole storyline's great. Like when they reintroduce Vulcan to like the whole X-Men universe and he's like the king of space.
Very interesting stuff.
There's a lot.
Yeah.
There's a lot of stuff. It's tough. I wish it's one of the toughest questions as a comic fan. If somebody goes, "Hey, I want to start X-Men. What do I do?" I have no answer.
You know what I tell them? Start with what's familiar to you.
Mm-hmm.
Go with the 90s X-Men. So what would be the best 90s X-Men run?
I would say start with the Jim Lee run.
The Jim Lee run.
X-Men number 1.
1 to 25 was good.
Yeah.
Really good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I would start with that. And then I would go to House of X, obviously. That stuff is good. The Onslaught stuff was good.
Yeah. But I would also honestly say, like, go back to the original stuff, and it's fantastic.
I'm telling you, I love those X-Men classic books.
Yeah.
They're so good.
They really are.
It's like an old, and it's written so differently because it's old.
Yeah.
It's stuff from when? The 70s?
Something like that, yeah.
That they redid?
Yeah. Those were good. All this stuff, like, it's the many eras of X-Men have been top to bottom fantastic. And then in the 70s, you get, like, the introduction of, like, the weirdo characters. Like, you had your Kitty Pryde and Dazzler.
I hate Dazzler.
You know? No, not a big Dazzler?
Not a Dazzler fan.
No, not a Dazzler?
I like Psylocke for the ladies.
Mm-hmm. For the ladies?
For the ladies, I like Psylocke. Rogue, Storm,
mm-hmm.
Emma.
Mm-hmm.
They're all good. Actually, to be honest, the women are written really well.
Oh yeah,
especially now. Like they've done a good job with this. You know where I have not caught up? All the Summers children.
Right.
Rachel Summers.
Mm-hmm.
Like I don't know much about Rachel Summers because that came when
80s.
Did it?
You had like Excalibur, yeah.
Oh, because she was in Britain.
Right.
Yeah. She was in England. See, I didn't read Excalibur.
Mm-hmm.
It's good stuff.
The original stuff was good. The Claremont Excalibur was really good.
I very much like X-Men.
Mm-hmm.
I like all the Marvel stuff, but they hit such a home run with this.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Better than you expected.
Way better than what I expected. I usually walk into things with low expectations, and my expectations were blown out of the water.
9.8 on Rotten Tomatoes. It is the most successful, most popular Disney series.
I would say this is the best thing that Marvel has done since Endgame.
So 10 years?
Endgame wasn't 10 years.
When was Endgame?
Endgame was 2018?
18? I think it's 18.
Was it really
6 years?
18?
Yeah.
Oh my God. 19. My God.
5 years. Best thing Marvel has done since Endgame.
Yeah. Okay.
You know, everything, like, not to say that they've put out garbage, but a lot of the stuff they put out, it's like, it's okay. It's just filler to me.
The Purifiers.
Guardians 3 was
underrated,
awesome.
Billy said.
There you go. Guardians 3 was great.
I didn't see Guardians 3.
Guardians 3 was great. I think besides Guardians 3, like the rest of the stuff, like Ant-Man was all right.
Not into Ant-Man. Never into him.
The Marvels, I liked the cameo of Beast in the Marvels. That was great. That second Doctor Strange movie was actually really good. I really enjoyed that.
I liked the Doctor Strange movie too.
Did you see the second one where it gets all demonic?
No, I didn't see the second one.
Awesome. You'd love it.
I didn't see the second one. I like that he was doing surgery.
That's where they
magic.
teased the X-Men 97 characters in the next Doctor Strange movie.
The Purifiers are the real friends of humanity.
There you go. Yeah.
Yeah, the Purifiers. That's an old one,
Purifiers and the Reavers, like all those gross guys that gave themselves robot arms.
Yeah, this stuff is so good.
I was also a big fan of X-Force.
Like the 90s
X-Force with Cable.
That was cool.
Do
you know why? I feel that it worked because not so much the writing, because the characters were already developed as very strong characters.
Yes. But also they took a lot of the New Mutants and put them on the X-Force team and the X-Force books. They made Cannonball and Immortal.
Did you like New Mutants or no? I never got into the New Mutants.
Yes and no. Like, I was never really into it as a kid. Like, I never really, I got it, and I have most of the issues. But it really it never did anything for me. I like the newer iterations down the line. When they relaunched the X-Men and they did a New Mutants book, I thought it was awesome.
How about X Factor?
Loved X Factor.
X Factor was good too.
Always big X Factor fan.
That was Havoc's crew, right?
Yeah.
I have this cover. I have this one. Where is it?
Originally it was the original X-Men, remember?
X Factor was. Yeah, when they split. It was Cyclops, Beast, Jean Grey,
Angel,
and
Archangel.
And Snowball Man.
The Iceman.
Yeah, there you go.
The Iceman.
The Iceman. Very cool stuff.
Yeah.
All right, guys, that's it for this week. We will all see you next time. Blup, blup. Goodbye.